Fear can make us vomit, or motion sickness, a stomach virus, too much alcohol, food poisoning, being pregnant, and as my son Vincent likes to tell me, a combination of eating 2 bananas then quickly drinking a Sprite will make you puke every time. Well, my daughter Corinne threw up twice the other night, once around 3 a.m., again around 5. Since I've been a mom for 14 years, there's not a sound in the world that can maneuver past the laser-like parental alarm system in my brain. Do you know that sound? Little feet hit the floor, toilet lid bangs open, a deep guttural, and your body is alert like 2 cups of coffee alert. I stumbled through the bathroom door just in time to hold her hair as she retched mostly into the bowl. I know my kids pretty well, and I'll admit I wasn't concerned that this was the start of the flu bug, or that she was drunk, or pregnant, or afraid. I suspected the culprit was our Friday evening Chinese takeout dinner at the park, which was followed by skateboarding, running bases at the ball field, half an hour of hiking. You see, Corinne's little nervous system has always been strangely sensitive, as long as I can remember. She's the first one in the room to speak out about civil injustice, but will ask me 3 times when we're baking together, "Now, which bowl do I add a teaspoon of salt to? This one?" When she was only a year old, she and I had already established this facial communication thing, and she'd sort of asked me if it was okay to take a step, or to play her toy piano, or to let go of my hand. Now, my youngest child, however, Vincent, is the opposite of his sister. He has an iron gut. Honestly, I can't recall him ever throwing up. He has the most sensitive heart, but is the first one out of the room to dart up a tree or a building. Danger? Consequences? He'll eat most anything you put in front of him, and quickly, so he can get back to climbing or video gaming or making explosives in his room with cap gun refills and Pez dispensers. Vincent will give me that certain look, and I can tell he really doesn't know what day it is. So, the next morning, after Corinne's night of nausea, I fully expected that teenager to be in bed until noon. But instead, I found her in the kitchen mid-morning, pouring a glass of milk. "You feeling better today, Sea Bear?" "Yeah, Mom, I don't know what that was all about. I feel fine this morning." And then she suggested we all go bike riding along the river trails. Any reservations I may have had about how awesome Corinne thought she felt were overruled by the gorgeous weekend weather. Being a single mom who works full-time and only spending every other weekend with them makes outdoor adventures with my kids challenging, especially in Arkansas, which has the most neurotic weather ever. But I liked her idea, so I spent almost an hour trying to figure out how to load 3 full-size bicycles into a Chevy Malibu. This included some phone calls and texts to friends about maybe borrowing a truck or a bike rack. I finally conceded and called Bobby's Bike Hike downtown. 3 reserved bicycles later, we parked our car and picked up our rented bikes. The cashier explained that the start of the trail was blocked off due to construction. We would have to bike parallel with traffic for a mile or so until we got back onto the trail. "No worries," she said. "There'll be orange detour signs along the way, pointing you in the right direction." I caught a glimpse of Corinne's expression. It clearly communicated fear and uncertainty. I had to talk her down. "It's okay, babe. Downtown isn't busy like on weekdays. We'll be past it and on the trail in no time." So we all jumped on our bikes and began to maneuver through the traffic. Past parallel parked cars, past moving cars, a few streetlights. There was a fire truck, a very loud motorcycle, quite a bit of stress. It turned out to be a daunting stretch between the bike rental shop and the end of all those detours, intense, even for me. My daughter's highly sensitive nervous system was at DEFCON 1. I could hear her behind me panting and complaining, "This isn't what I expected. I was throwing up last night, Mom, remember? I feel weak, I just want to go home." And then I heard Vincent, my highly sensitive heart, back there saying, "Well, I appreciate what you're trying to do, Mom, and I'm having a good time." It's really difficult to have a conversation with someone who's on a bicycle behind you. So we all stopped and got off our bikes so Corinne and I could yell at each other properly. We were about to cross 4 lanes of traffic because the damn detour signs picked up on the other side of Cantrell Road. I felt like we were entering a game of Frogger. Yet I'd been here before, at the edge of life's proverbial rushing traffic, trying to navigate my kids through danger or simply through the chaos of living. How many times have I paused at the curb with them to assess the rhythm of moving obstacles, balancing my fear and uncertainty with the courage and confidence I didn't possess before becoming a mother. My mind had to calculate all this data with the precision of a supercomputer. The bikes had been paid for, we're a mile into the ride, we just came down a hell of a steep hill, and all 3 of us really need this sun on our skin, this change in our routine, this rare moment together. My decision had been made. We were going to go for it. Before hopping out into oncoming traffic with my children, I briefly prepped them on the plan with this sage advice. I'm going first, follow me immediately, and don't get hit. We made it across the 4 lanes, and nobody died. The official bike trail was close now. Just another mile down a less traveled road, and we'd be on that path for bikes only. I knew Corinne was all right, even though I could hear her crying behind me. Exasperated, fearful, but still pedaling. When we reached the beginning leg of our long-anticipated river trail, Corinne's complaints stopped. Her tears dried up. She was relaxing. We cycled over the Big Dam Bridge into North Little Rock and the most diverse parts of the trail. We took our time, stopping to explore or chug our sports drinks or relieve our aching amateur backsides. After several hours on the trail, which had taken us across fields, through wetlands, around rocky bluffs, through the woods, our time was about up, and the 3 of us were spread out on the grass, watching the Arkansas River. I asked Corinne, well, honey, what do you think? Was it all worth it? She said, yeah, Mom, it was fun. I'm sorry I got so hysterical. My daughter had just cycled through her fears and pushed herself past innate sensitive nerves. I was proud of her, but I was also proud of myself. I consistently pedal through my weaknesses, heartaches, fatigue, stress, self-doubts, and prove to myself how capable I am to do this thing called motherhood. Corinne and Vincent take notice. They see their mother struggle, but more importantly, they see me push through and truly enjoy the ride.